Hello, fellow Ben 10 fans. Hopefully you're a fan because this video's about Ben 10. Shocker. But on to the main topic. I really want a Ben 10 sequel or continuation. I just said sequel because it's, better for the title. But I want a new installment in the Ben 10 franchise, not the reboot. I don't hate it like some people just hate it. I just prefer the original Ben 10 to come back. Why, you ask? Because the original Ben 10, or the prime version of Ben 10, showed us his beginning when he got the Omnitrix to the end of the series where he saw the universe's creation and goes on a road trip again. But in the looming background was Ben's future. We got 3 different pathways for Ben's future. The one in Classic, the one in Ultimate Alien Force, and the one in Omniverse. I think Classic was stated to be the same one as Omniverse or something like that. I don't know. I don't care either way. So seeing all these futures made me want to see the future of our Ben Tennyson. I stutter a lot. And we got to see all the different stages of his life, him being 10 years old, 15 years old, and 16/17 years old. But we don't get to see him as Ben 10,000. We get to see future versions of him briefly, but never a whole series of our Ben Tennyson, and we don't get to see where he ends up for definite, like 100% this is what happens to our version of Ben. I want a series that is the set-in-stone future for our version of Ben 10, not any alternate versions of his future, just, the canon one, I guess. I also don't care if Omniverse is his official future because, timelines can change pretty easily, and also, I don't really like the Omniverse future, so I'm gonna do some headcanon. Also, it'd be cool just to get a sequel series with a brand new future, a fresh take on Ben's future and what he could become. For this future series, we could see Ben in his early 20s. It could focus on what young people think and feel about their future and what to do with their lives. It could be set in his 30s, and maybe could tackle Ben having a midlife crisis, or his 40s, because that's also the middle age range for people too. Or if they wanted to be really dicey, they could make a series where Ben is 60 and around Grandpa Max's age. It could show Ben getting old and could talk about when people should sit back and let the younger generation take over and talk about our unescaping deaths. It could also show that Ben could live forever and that he could have the option to be immortal, but should he use his powers for that or accept his death and pass on the torch to the next generation? All these are cool ideas, I guess. I don't really know. I'm just spitballing ideas at this point. I just want another Ben 10 show. That's what I want. I'm just trying to get at the fact that Ben 10 still has a lot of stories to tell, especially about the prime version of Ben, or our Ben. But the real question is, would they ever take a big kid franchise like Ben 10 into that direction? Would they make it kind of like an Invincible type of thing? Kind of like what they did with Samurai Jack, where it was a kid show, they brought it back, and it was an Adult Swim show. Would they ever take it into that direction? I would probably lean towards no, because sometimes big brands like Ben 10 don't want their image to be ruined towards kids. Ben 10 is a toy seller, and we can see that Ben 10 does have a habit of turning back towards a kid's audience. Like Omniverse in the reboot. Not saying that Ben 10 can't tell good stories while being geared towards kids. Just look at the first 2 seasons of Alien Force. Ben 10 does have a habit of making things geared towards kids instead of being kid-friendly. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender is kid-friendly. Kids will watch it and enjoy it, but adults can also watch it and enjoy it too, even though it doesn't have more of the adult things, quote-unquote adult things, like cursing and gore and stuff and death. Death! People dying! Also, sorry for this side tangent. I guess I'm not really sorry, because I'm gonna do it anyways. You don't have to curse or have gore or have death, people dying. Some people still think that just because a series has cursing or gore or more adult material, that means it's automatically better than something that doesn't have this material. I saw this one person in a comment section saying that the DCEU is better than the DCAU because the DCAU is a kid show. It's multiple kid shows, that's what it is. Just because the DCEU is rated PG-13 and I think rated R for the Snyder Cut, doesn't mean it's better than the DCAU that's rated like TV-17. I meant to say TV7, I'm incredibly stupid. Please don't take my point to be invalid because I'm stupid. Because the DCAU has better writing, character development, foreshadowing, and it's actually more mature than most of the things in the PG-13 movies. A show or movie's rating does not equal better writing or quality. Like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is rated PG, and is a better film in almost every way than films like Venom, Madam Web. That movie sucked. That movie absolutely sucked. Amazing Spider-Man movies. Andrew Garfield does carry those movies. And all the Thor movies. Just because the film is rated PG or isn't like PG-13 doesn't mean it's automatically not as good as something that is rated PG-13. I'm not sorry for rambling because I need to get that off my chest. That was something that actually really annoyed me. But Ben 10 is a show that's kid-friendly that adults can also appreciate. That's why people still talk about it like 20 years later. It's just that in Omniverse, and especially in the reboot, it becomes more targeted towards kids and only kids. I've heard in multiple Ben 10 breakdowns breakdowns, of course, on the Ink Tanks channel, that they had to change or pivot their stories to meet the demands of the studios. Like the tangent I said earlier, you can be rated TV7 or whatever it's called and still tell mature stories like Ben 10 has done before, but the studios just can't have that. You know, you can't tell good stories, okay? They just want money. Money! So I don't know if they would risk taking their money cow like Ben 10 and upping the rating. I guess they don't really care because it's like they pulled all the Ben 10 shows off of HBO Max. I just guess they don't care.
I also think they did that because they're broke. Like, look at the Flash movie, and then look at Blue Beetle, and then Shazam, and then Aquaman. I think all those movies flopped, so I think they're broke. I think Warner Bros. Is broke.
I also only want the rating to go up because we could get more nasty and cooler fights. I still believe that a kid's show can have better writing and be more mature than a show targeted at adults, but adult shows can always show brutal fights or people losing limbs or people dying compared to kids shows where they have to basically censor everything. That's why I want Ben 10 to go up to a TV-14 rating or Adult Swim type of show. So we can see Ben throw some hands, we can see some blood, some gore! That's what I want gore! But back to the Ben 10 is a show to sell toys reason. Another good reason why the Ben 10,000 show or sequel could work is instead of toys targeted towards kids, they can make a line of collectibles like the SH figure arts for like One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball that are more expensive and targeted towards adult fans or collectors, I guess. I don't know. Because kids are less likely to buy toys today because they have like tablets, phones, computers, video games. Also, parents don't want to like spend any extra money they do have from their paycheck on toys that their kids are probably not going to use after 5 minutes. But unlike kids and adults, collectors that are obsessed with the series are willing to pay $60+ for an action figure of a character from that series. I've done it multiple times before. I'm not good with money. Like look at my Transformer collection. I had an addiction. It was like for 2 years straight I was chronically obsessed with Transformers. Now I just have a room of Transformer toys. I meant collectibles. They're called collectibles, okay? I don't want anyone saying they're not toys, they're collectibles. I'm just saying that you could still make money from Ben 10 from a toy standpoint, even if it's a Ben 10,000 show that's rated like TV-14, because like teenagers and adults or collectors, whatever you want to call them, are more willing to spend like that type of money on things than like kids are and adults are. I guess, I don't know. Besides from writing and good voice acting and a good art design or style, I guess, a Ben 10,000 show could go mainstream. Ben 10 is already kind of mainstream, but who cares? I don't care. I'm just gonna get my point across. But a Ben 10,000 show or a sequel show could go very mainstream and get very popular if they could just have great animation like JJK and Demon Slayer, but also at the same time, there's a lot of stories of people getting overworked and underpaid, so maybe we won't have great animation. I just want the classic art style. It has a great art style and they have good animation. Let's just bring back the classic art style for this new Ben 10,000 show. If it ever happens. I don't think it's gonna happen. I just want another Ben 10 show, that's what I want. I'm having a voice crack every 5 minutes. So to sum this video up, I want a sequel to the original Ben 10 series, with Ben anywhere from 20 to 60 something, I don't know, like 65, I don't know. With good animation, a TV-14 rating, because I want to see Ben throw some hands, and as many as the original cast, voice actors, writers, anything, just the original cast in general to return as possible. So thank you for listening to me. My own family won't listen to me for over a minute. They'll just tell me to shut up. It's a sad world we live in. So click the thumbs up button, not the thumbs down one, okay? Sometimes people misclick, I think. Also subscribe because it's summer, so I can start posting semi-regularly about Ben 10, One Piece, Bleach, not Naruto, Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball Daima, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Jujutsu Kaisen, because I'm addicted to Jujutsu Kaisen. So with that, I'm like your parents and extremely disappointed with you because you haven't commented yet. So hopefully I'll see you next time.